OVO Sound Radio.
Yo, what's good? It's your boy coming live from my disclosed home studio location. Today, I'm here to talk to you about the one, the only, Noah 40 Shebib. Well, first, let me tell you a little bit about him. Let me give you some background. He's half Lebanese, he's half Irish, he's a Toronto native. He produces hip-hop and R&B. He originally got his nickname 40 from his early career working with some other rappers who originally titled him 40 Days and 40 Nights. That sort of passion drove him to work with the likes of Alicia Keys, Jamie Foxx, Lil Wayne, and to be today one of his biggest successes, Drizzy Drake himself. Him and Drake first originally met in 2005 when he was just the recording and mix engineer, so they weren't quite on that personal level just yet, but they had something going for it. So Drake would always just bring in some producers, and they would listen to YouTube videos trying to find, like, you know, a specific sound. They couldn't really find anybody, and 40 realized, hey, I mean, I have some stuff. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna step up to the plate, and if you like it, well, let's roll with it. So they sat down. They started talking about what they really wanted to have end goal, and they really found themselves back in that R&B, like, soulful type of music, more like a Mary J. Blige, like an Aaliyah, like Stevie Wonder, just music with a meaning. You can hear a lot of that reflect in his style, that like lo-fi, resonant, like hard-hitting lyrics, but the instrumental also says a lot about its own. You can find that in songs like Successful featuring Trey Songz, Houston Land of Vegas, The Calm, Marvin's Room.
I'm just saying you could do better.
Those types of songs, you can tell, have a lot of meaning to them, and they had to draw from a personal level to achieve that sort of type of thing. So they really vibed off each other for that. They actually had an interview with 40 at the GQ magazine, and they wanted to know how he felt about that people maybe want to take his style, maybe take what he has. And to be honest, he said he doesn't really mind because he doesn't feel like creativity's stolen, but it's borrowed, so he's more or less humbled by it, you know? So I mean, that would all lead up to 2009. He was actually the executive producer on Drake's first mixtape, So Far Gone, the first public mixtape that really blew him up, and that would just keep the snowball effect going. In 2010, they would release Thank Me Later. In 2011, they'd release one of their greatest selling albums, Take Care. 2013, To Nothing Was the Same. 2015, if you're reading this, it was too late. And then him and Future had a collaboration of What a Time to Be Alive. 2016, they dropped Views from the Six. In 2017, early on, they just dropped More Life. So you can see that they're really working together as a team. So they had to come together more or less as a collective. So let's backtrack for a moment, okay? So late 2011 or early 2012, they established something called OVO. OVO stands for October's Very Own, and it's represented more or less by an owl. They chose an owl because it's a symbol of sophistication and elegance. And why October? Well, that's Drake's birthday. That's his birth month. They turned his birthday essentially into a lifestyle. So with that kind of dedication, you can tell that now at this point in the game, years later, him and 40 have a really, really close relationship with each other. They really vibe off of each other a lot. There's nothing they can't really not talk about. So with that kind of energy always in the room, they're always pushing each other forward. So creatively, things just come together very quickly. So 40 had even mentioned that when they're in the studio, it only takes them about maybe 15 to 20 minutes to actually come up with something really worthwhile, which is really unique. Not a lot of people can say that.
Look, I got enemies, got a lot of enemies.
Drake is always shouting him out when he really doesn't have to be. Like, he'll always talk about him within the songs, and that really humbles him that Drake thinks so highly of him just as he thinks as highly of Drake. Then it's also really cool because now people are starting to shout out engineers and producers more than ever, so people actually know what's going on in the music.
With my skin tan and my hair long, and my fans who've been so patient, me and 40 back to work, but we still smell like a vacation.
A lot of people want to know, though, what's next for 40? Like, what happens when this whole Drake thing's over? What's to come? And he didn't really answer a whole lot on that in the GQ magazine. He just really kind of stated that he's kind of a geeky guy. He likes his gear and stuff like that, and he's really interested in creating like software and plugins for people that want it. A lot of the recording and mixing process that he doesn't happen in the studio like you probably think it does. A lot of it happens on the road and at hotels and condos after shows and stuff like that. He said that basically at this point in the game, all someone needs to get started is a MacBook Pro and just the passion and drive and the know-how to want to feed that and just continue on. When they recorded So Far Gone, they actually did that in a hotel, and they mixed and mastered it on Pro Tools LE. He's basically trying to tell people that there's nothing you can't really do. And if you look back, I mean, it's a crazy path. I mean, we all see how it is now. So I mean, the rest after that's just gonna be history.
Started from the bottom, now the whole team here, nigga. Started from the bottom, now we here. Started from the bottom, now my whole team here, nigga. Started from the bottom.